They called me a gold digger in a room I had already paid for. The words didn't come in whispers. They came loud, careless, sharp enough to slice through the soft music and polite laughter. I stood there, holding a glass of champagne I hadn't even touched yet, and felt every eye in the room slowly turn toward me. His mother smiled when she said it. Not a warm smile, not a joke, a statement. She's clever, she added, tilting her head as if studying a painting she didn't approve of. They always are. A few people chuckled. Others looked down, pretending not to hear. My fiancé, Daniel, stood beside me silent. His hand, once wrapped around mine, had loosened, not fully letting go, but not holding on either. That hurt more than anything. I swallowed, hard. I'm sorry, I said quietly, even though I heard her perfectly. She stepped closer, her perfume strong, her voice softer now, but somehow more cutting. Let's not pretend, Lisa. Girls like you don't just end up with families like ours. Girls like me. I felt the heat rise in my chest. Not embarrassment. Not yet. Something else. I looked around the room. Crystal chandeliers, designer dresses, expensive smiles, all of it familiar to me in ways they couldn't imagine. But tonight, I wore something simpler. I had chosen it that way. I wanted to see who they really were. Now I knew. Daniel finally spoke, but not the way I had hoped. Mom, maybe not tonight. Not a defense. Not a denial. Just discomfort. I looked at him. Really looked. And something inside me shifted. His sister stepped in next. Arms crossed. Eyes scanning me like I was something cheap on clearance. You didn't grow up like us, right? She asked. Where are you from again? I smiled slightly. A small town. That part was true. What did your parents do? She pressed. I paused. I learned early not to talk about money, I said. More laughter. Softer this time, but still there. Oh, how convenient, his mother replied. Daniel exhaled. Lisa, just tell them. It'll clear things up. That was the moment. Not when they insulted me. Not when they judged me. But when he asked me to prove myself to people who had already decided who I was. I set my glass down. Carefully. I don't need to clear anything up, I said. The room went quieter than before. His mother raised an eyebrow. Then maybe you should explain why my son is suddenly planning a life with someone who has no visible background. No visible background. I almost smiled. Because if she only knew. I took a slow breath and looked around again. At the venue. The flowers. The catering. The staff moving seamlessly through the room. Every detail intentional. Every detail mine. You're right, I said softly. I don't talk about my background. Daniel looked uneasy now. Lisa! I held up a hand, not to stop him, but to give myself a moment. Because I wasn't angry anymore. I was clear. There's something I should say, I continued. His mother folded her arms, satisfied. She thought she had won. I reached into my clutch and pulled out my phone. Not to make a call, just to open something. A single document. Then I looked at the event manager standing near the entrance and gave a small nod. Within seconds, the music stopped. The room turned. Confused murmurs filled the space. The manager stepped forward holding a microphone. Excuse me, everyone, he said. Before we continue, there's something important Miss Thompson would like to share. Miss Thompson, not Lisa, not Daniel's fiancée, just my name. The room stilled. Daniel looked at me, confused now. What's going on? I took the microphone when it was handed to me. For a second, I said nothing. I just let them sit in it. The judgment, the assumptions, the quiet arrogance. Then I spoke. I wasn't going to do this tonight, I said calmly. Because I didn't think I had to. His mother shifted slightly, her confidence flickering for the first time. But since we're talking about where I come from, I continued, I think it's only fair I clarify something. I tapped my phone once and handed it to the manager. Behind me, the large screen, originally set to display engagement photos, changed. A company logo appeared, not flashy, not loud, but unmistakable to anyone who knew business. A few guests leaned forward. A few gasped. Daniel frowned. Why is that? I met his eyes. Because that company, I said quietly, is mine. Silence. Not the polite kind. The heavy kind. The kind that lands and doesn't move. His sister laughed first. Nervous. Okay, what kind of joke is this? I didn't look at her. I'm the sole owner, I continued, and majority stakeholder in 3 subsidiaries you've probably heard of. Now people were pulling out their phones, checking, whispering. His mother's face changed. Just slightly, but I saw it. Recognition, doubt, then realization. "No," she said under her breath. "Yes," I replied. Daniel stepped back like the ground had shifted beneath him. "Lisa, why didn't you tell me?" I looked at him. Really looked this time. "I wanted to know if you loved me," I said. "Or what you thought I didn't have." He opened his mouth, closed it again, because there was no right answer. I turned back to the room. "I didn't hide who I am," I said. "I just didn't announce it." I gestured lightly around us. "This venue, booked through my firm." A pause. "The catering, one of our partners." Another pause. "And the ring Daniel gave me?" I held up my hand, letting the light catch it. "I designed it." You could feel the shift now. Not just in the room. In the air. Respect forced its way in where judgment used to sit. His mother took a step forward. "If this is true." "It is," I said calmly. She stopped. For the first time since I met her, she didn't have control of the conversation. "I built everything I have," I continued. "From that small town you were so curious about." No one laughed now. "I learned early not to talk about money," I added, "because it tends to reveal more about others than it does about me." A few people nodded. Quietly, I handed the microphone back. "I think I've said enough." The manager stepped away. The music didn't come back on. No one knew how to move forward. Daniel stepped toward me again, his voice low. "Lisa, wait!" I looked at him, and I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just clarity. "You didn't defend me," I said softly. "I was trying to keep the peace," he replied quickly. "At my expense," I said. He hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. His mother approached again, but slower this time. "Careful. Lisa, I may have misjudged." "Not just me," I interrupted gently. "You revealed yourselves." She went quiet. "I didn't come here to prove my worth," I said. "And I won't stay where I have to." Daniel's voice broke slightly. "So that's it? You're just leaving?" I looked at the ring, then back at him. "I was ready to build a life with you," I said. "But I won't build it on disrespect." I slipped the ring off, placed it in his hand. His fingers didn't close around it right away. He just stared. "I hope one day you understand what you lost," I said. "Not as revenge, just truth." I turned and walked toward the exit. No one stopped me. No one spoke. The same room that laughed at me minutes ago now parted in silence. Outside, the night air felt different. Cleaner. Lighter. I didn't rush. I didn't look back. Because I already knew what was behind me. And I had nothing left to prove. They thought I was chasing their wealth. They never realized I was the one who could have given them a legacy.